A very good morning to you. How are you doing? Karibuni sana to Full Circle with Mwikali. Let us know where you're watching us from this morning. 111 That is our SMS line, and it's going to cost you just a shilling to talk to us. Be part of the conversation. Send in your questions, your comments, your opinions. Tumata salamulu asubu. We're here for it all. You can find us on social media, Switch TV KU on Instagram, Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. It's Mwikali Mary on Twitter and Instagram, Mwikali Mary on Facebook. Let's get the conversations on the show on the social media platforms as well this morning. And I hope you've woken up energized and ready to just face today because we have a power show lined up for you. We have terrible habits sometimes when it comes to seeking medical attention. Most of the times we'll just have drugs in the house and we just pick up and continue from the dose that you didn't finish. You'll share your drugs with somebody else. You just self-medicate. What should we do? What is the right thing to do when you're feeling unwell? We'll be looking at that as well because it's Tuesday. We'll have her royal scuffiness and Auntie in the building as well. We have two amazing couples. We've had them on the show separately, but today they will be here together, and I'm looking forward to that. And of course, we'll be continuing a conversation we started yesterday with Lawrence Namale, so stick around for that. But first, let's take a look at the quote of the day. And today's quote is from Dr. Steve Maraboli, and it says, if you hang out with the chickens, you're going to cluck. And if you hang out with the eagles, you're going to fly. If you hang out with chickens, you're just going to cluck, cluck, cluck. And if you hang out with the eagles, you're going to fly, you're going to soar, you're going to be big, you're going to go places. So you choose. Do you want to do this or do you just want to take off? The choice is yours. Today could be one day or it could be day one. So what will it be? Well, that leads us into the very first conversation today. It's time for Advice Circle. Lawrence Namale, all the way in Uganda. Can you hear me? Good morning, sir.
I can. Good morning. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Great, and I can hear you. And I'm excited that we get to continue with this conversation that we started yesterday. We started talking about purpose
Right.
and how that will be tied in with profit and all of that. And I would like to just continue on with that. How you get to use that to put into action? What are some of the steps that you need to do to make sure that you actualize when you've realized that this is my purpose? What do I do then?
Right. So the beginning, like we shared yesterday, the beginning is to clarify exactly what it is. And
Yes.
clarity is power.
Yes.
But you see, one of the things that is common to us is not that we lack information. There
Yes.
is a lot of information.
Uh
In
huh.
fact, there is a lot of knowledge about ourselves, self-awareness. So, most important thing is what we do with the information that we have. And so, the step that will follow after you clarifying what your purpose is, the next thing is to own that purpose.
Okay.
Owning the purpose means that if your name is mentioned, people are identifying a particular aspect of what you do or aspect your name comes. So the process is ownership. So ownership means that everything you do in terms of studying, in terms of gathering information, in terms of talking about it, in terms of showing up, whether
Lawrence.
you're having
Lawrence, I keep losing you. I think it's the internet connection. Maybe you can just go back a little bit. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I just lost you for a second. Maybe you can just go back a bit.
So I say that ownership means that everything you're doing with your purpose, whether it is in terms of gathering information, whether it's in terms of doing the purpose itself or showing up in the world or telling people, people should know that you are zeroing in on a particular aspect of your life, which is your purpose.
Okay.
That is what ownership is all about. You know why ownership is important?
Uh huh.
It is important because people buy into what they trust. and people trust what they see you are passionate about. If they know that you're just doing transactions, you just want to get a quick buck, people are not interested in getting in touch with you. But
Yes.
people are interested to know that you are deeply involved in this. You are deeply interested in transformation that comes from your purpose. And therefore, they want to engage with you. And by the way, it takes quite a bit of time. It's not just going to be, you discovered your purpose today,
Yes.
and then tomorrow they start lining up, wanting to meet you and wanting to be transformed by you. People are going to doubt you. And that's why ownership is important, because the biggest problem I see in the world today is people living their lives in a 30-day period. Because in 30 days, they're going to get paid and then they're going to pay bills.
Yes.
But purpose doesn't work in a period of 30 days. Purpose works in years, actually in decades. So ownership is on the long haul. It is not on a few months
No.
and then you dump it and then you start something else that's going to bring a quick buck, and then it doesn't work and then you dump it. It is being consistent, being someone who is committed to that purpose for the long haul. So ownership is going to be seen, by the way, when
Yes.
when we log, for example, when you log into your social media accounts, because everyone is on internet today.
Yeah.
We will see your passion. We will see your purpose. We will see what you've owned. We will see your brand actually there.
Yeah. So we need to own that. And owning that does not mean that it will be instant, that you will be able to turn that into profit immediately. It needs for you to work on that. Maybe you are being directed into into something that you've never experienced before. So it's new and you've never put yourself out there. So you cannot say you're an expert at
Right.
it. So that means you need to work
Right.
on it so that you're able to stand in front of people and do what Lawrence is doing today.
Absolutely. You see, the way society has been structured is in such a way that we are mostly, a big percentage of us, we are schooled and then we qualify and then we want to do work in an office. But when you come up with your purpose, probably your purpose is in helping people to write their stories or to develop stories and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
That is not traditional. It is not conventional. It is something weird. It's not something that has been happening in the mainstream. The mainstream is mostly to do with, engineer, doctor, teacher, accountant, and so on. But the guy who is working with words, that's weird. And so people kind of, shun off and stay away from you. But you stay with it. You brand. Actually, ownership is about branding yourself
Yeah.
accordingly. Branding yourself not in terms of how you dress up, but branding yourself in terms of what transformation you bring on the face of the earth with your purpose.
Yeah.
And slowly by slowly, people start noticing and people start questioning and people start asking. And hopefully by the time they're starting to ask, you have answers. And these answers, no, honestly, they have come in terms of the products and the services that you've created. Because people will not interact with your purpose in terms of a purpose statement.
Yeah.
People will interact with your purpose in terms of the products you've created and the services you've created. So, for example, someone of purpose who is gifted in writing, gifted with working with words, typing and so on. What products has that person created through the process of ownership? For example, a product that I can create from that is ghostwriting. That means that anyone who has a message but doesn't have the time and the skill to write, the person of purpose interacts with that person with the product of ghostwriting. Therefore, I meet you and I tell you that my purpose is to help people to bring their stories to life. And I do this through the service of ghostwriting, which means that I'm going to take your story, listen to it, add your authenticity to it, add your voice to it, and help you write. And at the end of the day, you become an author. It takes a bit of time for you to own.
That's true, and it's a whole process. And if you do not own it and put in the work, then probably this will take longer than somebody else who discovered, found out what their purpose is, and owned it and put in the work. So that means the time
Yeah.
spent before they actually turn that into profit or turn that into something that could help the society or the community will be shorter than somebody who's just like, oh my
Right.
God, I am known for a certain thing, which is in your past, not where
Yeah.
you're going or where you're being
Right.
directed by your purpose.
Absolutely. And by the way, those two guys of those two types of people you've mentioned,
Yeah.
one of the things that you need to note is this, that the guy who has decided to own is the guy who is going to deploy that purpose. But if you do not own, let me tell you, we are living in the most distracted world today. There are so many distractions, there are so many get rich quick schemes out there that are garnering for your attention every waking day. So if you don't own your purpose, guess what? Today you'll be growing mushrooms. Tomorrow you'll be doing forex trading. The other day you'll be selling quail eggs, and all these shenanigans that people are coming up with in order to kind of make money. Purpose is not necessarily about making money.
No.
Purpose is about transformation, and through transformation, the byproduct of transformation, you're going to make money. But let me tell you, every working day, there are very many money-making schemes out there. And the problem with following money-making schemes is that you never identified with one thing that transforms this world.
That is so
which
true.
Which is your purpose.
You didn't stand for anything, so you fell for everything that came your way. And thank you so much, Lawrence,
Absolutely.
for talking to us this morning. Social media handles again, and where people can reach you on whatever platform you're on.
On Twitter, you can get me from @Namale on Twitter. On Facebook, it's Lawrence Namale.
Okay.
On the website is lifesignatures.life.
Lifesignatures.life.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
And on that note, we're going to take a very short commercial break. We will be right back. This is Full Circle with Mwikali.